Hey guys, what's up? This is Shriyar, and today we'll be recording my experience of my first interview. Okay, so let me begin by introducing the company. So the company was an aerospace company. Some of you might even know it. It's called Collins Aerospace. And the thing is that the history of this company with my college has been kind of awkward. Okay, so it's like 2 years back, the college had invited Collins Aerospace to their premises and told them to take an interview. They did, and they also selected some candidates who are still working in the company. Okay. The response of these candidates has also been very good. I have even spoken with some of these candidates and found out that we really enjoy the company environment. But I don't know what happened after that. 2 years, for the next 2 years, the company didn't come over here. Okay, so 2 years, no calls. And by the time I reached my final year, the year which I'm supposed to take placements, college placements, so Collins came back again and they were ready to offer a placement in the company. And the minute I heard it was an aerospace company, okay, I was ready. Okay, I was like, I have to get in somehow because uh, any aerospace company is right now on the move. And as you know, companies like SpaceX and many others who are working in the aerospace field right now are making huge breakthroughs. And actually, I want to be a part of some revolutionary team or some environment where people are working hard, people are out here discussing some groundbreaking ideas. And yeah, basically, I'm a rocket guy. I like rockets, I like spacecraft. So yeah, I was very much interested and I wanted to get in. We had approximately 2 weeks, and not 2 weeks, I suppose. It was 1 week probably. And what I did was I went to my dear friend ChatGPT and I asked him what are the good ways to prepare for an interview. And it obviously gave me some. I also referred some YouTube videos. They said you should know well about the company, know its vision, mission. You should learn about the subjects which they are probably gonna ask, and also like proper etiquettes while sitting for the placement, while you're interacting with the HR, and yeah, all those things. Okay, so the day came for the interview. We were all sitting inside a different room. The HRs were calling in to their rooms separately, and initially we had apti round, obviously. Okay, the thing was the apti round was conducted like almost 3 4 days before the actual interview. Okay, and that was used for shortlisting candidates. Now I don't know how the aptitude actually worked out because for the aptitude we had students from mechanical, we had students from mechatronics, my branch, and we also had students from aeronautics was taking the aptitude test. Now the thing is, we all took the test, and once we took the test, I was pretty sure that although my reasoning and aptitude and also a part of the test was technical, so the aptitude part went well. I was like, okay, maybe I can do well. The technical part I was not that confident because technical they asked some questions which I had probably never heard. Okay, there were questions related to aeronautics, and I was damn sure that aeronautics students should crack it. The day and on the day of the interview, they declare the results. Okay, like they were supposed to declare the results like the day of the test itself, but I don't know what technical issue they had. So we had the test declared on the day of the interview itself, and that's when we came to know who were the shortlisted candidates. I was pretty shocked that I got selected. Okay, now I was glad I got selected, but then part of me was also like, let's see how many aeronautics students got selected. Okay, so I had some phases in mind which I was like, "Oh, these guys will get selected, pakka." But it did not happen that way. Some people got those people who I assumed will get 100% selected for the interview round. They did not clear it. How? I don't know. Okay. So yeah, that happened. Anyways, now let's move on to the interview part. Okay. In the interview part, we basically how they were calling us, like they had a sheet, and in the sheet they had mentioned your names in particular sequence, and they would call you according to that sequence. And my number was somewhere in the middle, so that was playing to my advantage. Okay, I made play to my advantage in a way that whoever went ahead of me, they would go made the uh, HR, and the HR would ask technical questions also, and then some general questions. Then they would come back, and all of us who were seated inside this room, which I mentioned, there will just extort them. Okay, we'll just ask them what did they ask, how did you perform, what else did they want to know. Okay, we just brutally try to get questions out of them, get all sort of details out of them. And with every individual that went before me, I was able to get a good insight, like what kind of questions they're asking, what do they expect from us, and yeah. So I prepared accordingly. Okay, so throughout the time I was in the separate room, I would just jog through whatever I have read so far. Read so far in the sense, just try to revise it. And I had one thing very clear in mind, that I'll be very straightforward with the HRs. Okay, so if I didn't know anything, I'll not try to make it up. I'll not try to bluff it. I will just say, sorry, sir, I am yet to touch on that topic. I will come back and let you know. Done. Okay, no bluffing, no trying to because you need to understand the mentality of the HRs also over here. Because since my number was, if my number was in the starting, then it's a different thing, because the HRs will have a fresh mind and they'll be able to assess you properly. But once as that number increases, right? Once you're in the middle of the list or at the very end, that is a terrible state to be in, because by the time you reach the last candidate, HR's mind is already messed up. Okay, having talked with so many individuals, and they just want to get done with this work very quickly. They wouldn't even consider the last candidates. The probability of the candidates who are going in at the last round, chances are very minimal that they get selected, and you do not want to be in that position. So if you find yourself in that position, make sure that you either get away from that position, or make make some kind of statements inside the HR cabin that will make you stand out. Okay, that leaves a long lasting impression on the HR. Maybe in the way you converse with him, maybe in the way you sit, and maybe in the way you deliver your answers. Okay, so yeah, that's that. And yeah, so before my round, I would just revise my answers, whatever I knew was perfect. And I knew some particular questions which usually every HR asks. You might also know them, like why why do you think you are good for this role? Uh, on what basis should we hire you? And uh, tell me tell me about yourself. Okay, all these basic questions. So I had my resume with me. So for that question of tell me about yourself, I would just go through the resume and I would prepare accordingly, like very short, very very short, like 1 minute intro. It's basically like a pitch. Okay, pitch in front of how you pitch in front of investors, right? In the same way, you're trying to create a 1 minute pitch for yourself, where you show that yes, you are worthy of the job to be given out there. And so I prepared accordingly, a 1 minute intro, and some questions for the interviewer. This is also one important tactic to remember, guys, that when you go inside for an HR interview, make sure that you have 5 to 6 questions ready regarding the company. So that shows that you have prepared something for the interview. If you don't question something, then HRs kind of get the message that you have not well prepared for the interview, neither have you researched anything about the company. So that makes it very difficult for you to continue with the selection process. Okay, I went into the HR cabin, and over there I expected some questions based on what they had asked other people, and he asked me the same kind of questions. So I was lucky. He asked me the questions, I was able to answer very well. And there were some questions which were new to me. He asked, first of all, he asked me whether I was a mechatronics or an aeronautics student. And based on that, he was able to ask me some questions. He asked me mechatronics related questions. I was happy with that. And some questions he asked related aeronautics, which, like I said, like I don't know this subject. I'll have to touch upon it and then I'll have to come back to you and answer. He was okay with it. The technical round, I cleared in this way. Okay, like based on what other people got asked, uh, and I was able to gather all these questions together, then create my own answers for them. Okay, then then I went into the technical round, and I was like, okay, these are the questions he'll ask, and that's what happened, and that's how I was able to answer them very well. Great. And another thing I did was the question. Okay, the question I asked him was, first of all, I did not ask him one, I asked him two questions. One was, how was my performance? Because obviously, since it's my first time giving an interview, I wanted to know how I performed also. And yeah, he was very impressed. He was very impressed with the way I was delivering my answers. Okay, I used to deliver my answer in a way that he would ask me some question regarding some concept. I will give him some definition of the concept, and I'll also explain him the concept using an example. Okay, so that showed that my understanding about the concept was very well, and he was very impressed with that. So that played to my advantage. And second question which I asked him was that what are the recent developments happening in the company? Okay, and he was happy to answer. Uh, by the way, he was answering my questions. I already had in mind that he is impressed, so I was done with it. I came out of the technical HR, and then we also had another round where we had I don't know what to call it. Also, it was just an HR asking general questions. Let's just say it a general round. Okay, so in this general round, the HR was asking me more of questions like, are you a team player? Do you like to work alone? Are you free to working remotely in remote regions? And yeah, again, tell me about yourself. So yeah, very very general questions, and he basically wanted to know how my social skills are. So the first round was technical, where he asked very technical questions. The second round was mainly how you converse, how you communicate, and uh, how well can you handle it in an environment where you are working with teams. So yeah, these kinds of questions. These This round was very, and luckily, I I was good at speaking. Okay, I was the thing about me was that during my years in college, I was able to participate in a few of the startup contests where I had to pitch ideas, and because of pitching again and again, my ability to converse, my ability to speak with other people, and of course my English got better, and that should help me to clear this round. So to summarize, for the technical round, make sure that uh, being the first is placed to your advantage because your HR is in a good mood. But then again, you will have to be prepared to face completely out of the blue questions. It is better that your positioning is somewhere in the middle, or yeah, somewhere in the middle, not at the last, also somewhere in the middle. So that way, uh, whoever finishes the um interview, you can gather some details out of it, like what kind of questions they do the HR ask, what are they expecting. Second, for the second one, the I don't know what you call it. Just let me know in the comments. Okay, I'll just call it the general round. So in the general round, they are just checking for your communication skills, and they're just checking how well do you adapt to the situation, how well do you work with the team. Okay. if they are expecting a no from you, then obviously they'll ask some kind of a no related question. And if if you don't feel it is that way, then just answer yes, yes, and also back it up with a reason why you're saying yes. Okay, don't just say randomly yes, and then if they cross question you and then you're not able to answer, then you find yourself in a tough position. Okay. And almost a week later, good news, I got selected. You can say it was partly luck also, because I wasn't sure that I was going to finish the aptitude round, but somehow I did. It was my first interview, so I don't know what to expect, but I played by strategies. I knew that having information at hand was key. So I prepared about the company. I asked the I asked the people in front of me who had finished the interview, and the part of luck came where in my conversing skills, in my ability to deliver my answers, and that was something which came by working on my presentation, working on my communication skills for the last few years. And yeah, that's how the interview process went. So yeah, that was my interview experience. I hope you got to take away something from this. If you had any questions to ask regarding this interview process, you might just put it down in the comments so that I can answer you later. And yeah, I'll end this video over here. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.